We were supposed to be there for 3 days. We finished the 3 days. They sent us home, and I could remember, you know how men, and when something is really hard in them, they might hide it a little bit. So I told Chuck, I said, stay beside him. I'm gonna run to the office and come back, but you better let me know if anything is wrong. Now you can understand, they poked into his lungs, and there's a big bandage to avoid too much air going into the lungs. Unfortunately for the nurse practitioner that put the dressing, she didn't do a good job. But check this out. This is how the miracle starts, right? So the nurse practitioner did not close it well. And by the time I called Shook, I said, is everything okay? I'm about to start coming home. He said, no, that is complaining about pain right here. I said, pain? I said, okay. So by the time I talked to my son, I'm already on the phone telling the nurse practitioner for the surgical doctor, you better get him back into the hospital before I get back to Austin. She said, just tell your son to bring him and we'll check him out. He took Daddy to the hospital. I'm on the way coming. By the time they finished the assessment, the nurse practitioner said, well, his pulse is a little bit up, but wait till midnight if he starts having chest pain, then bring him back. I said, really? So by the time she's telling me that, I said, put Dr. Koff on the phone for me, tell him that Appolonia said, by the time I get to Austin, if he doesn't check him into the hospital, I'm going to check him in myself. So as I'm driving, I get a phone call, say, Dr. Koff said, you go ahead and bring your husband. I just opened up a room for him. By the time I turned around and go to Austin, took my husband, went to the hospital. Dr. Koff came and did the assessment. He shook my hand. He said, I'm glad you are ready. If you waited a few more hours, he would have been gone. Because his 2 lungs were completely collapsed. Just because the dressing was not put right, and every single air went in and bumped him. This right side was to here. So the doctor put him into surgery again, drained all the air, and we had to stay for another 6 days. But one of the days that we stayed, as the hymn will have it, we went to church. I took the kids, we all went to church, and while we are coming back from the church, I walked into the hospital, and my husband said, here. I said, what is that? Well, one of the doctors came in and understood that I am already living, and I'm already complaining about every single step of the way, how I had to even challenge him to even get him into the hospital. And now to here, his 2 lungs are collapsed. We have to worry about if whatever is left is gonna last a month. So the doctor goes and gives my husband a piece of paper and says, I understand your nurse, your wife knows what's going on. You give her this card, and I understand she's already researching. But this part might help her to make it faster. And I took that card. When I walked in, my husband said, here you go. I know you're already angry, but the doctor says you can do whatever. So I looked at the card. It was a hospital that I'm already hearing for some reason that is in Dallas. I said, wow. My husband said, you know, I want you to make arrangements for my funeral. You don't need to do anything about it. I already told you. I don't want to give you a headache because he doesn't like headache for us, right? I said, don't worry, let me just take this. That was on a Sunday. We took him home. By 8 a.m., I'm on the phone with the hospital in Dallas, giving them all the medical information from him. And their question was, well, where is the doctor that has this patient? I said, don't worry about that doctor. Let's keep going. So by the time Monday is over, I've already registered him in the Dallas hospital, giving them all the information. They made the appointment for us to come. We went. Dr. Fitzgerald, thank you. Such a great man. He did the assessment and he came out, he said, Appolonia, I really, really feel sorry for you because you got kids in college. But I can tell you, in my life of being a pulmonary specialist for 30-something years, I've never had any single case where the lungs were good and all of a sudden the left lung has only 20% functioning and the right one has about 50 for no reason. He asked me a bunch of questions. Do you all cook with wood in Nigeria? I said, yes, sir, we do. I mean, that's just the truth. And after a lot of questions, he said, well, I don't have no treatment option for you, but I'll tell you this. I'm going to try your husband on some medication and just see if it's going to be just to keep him maybe a little bit longer, or your kids who are already getting in college maybe to go 2 more months. I said, let's try it. He said, but for that medicine, we have to do a bunch of tests. I said, I'm willing for that. So they finished most of the tests and we started this medicine. Now you all know, every single medicine you take has a bunch of side effects, right? So we started. By the time we're talking, he's already on 16 liters of oxygen. Daryl and I had to go to the stores to get a little bed because if he stood up, his oxygen level would go to the 60s. So we had to get a small bed close to the bathroom. At this point, we had to shower him and feed him because he already lost 35 pounds, right? But let me give you the second major testimony. So, on one of on one of the occasions, we set up his mess. We were watching TV to go to work just to see the weather. And Tiffany comes and says, Mommy, let's go. I said, hold on a minute. Let me watch and see what the weather is like before we start going. And I'm telling my husband, your medicine is ready, so when we leave, make sure you take it. You know how all of a sudden, just in a second, I'm watching CNN, the news, just to see about the weather. And something hit me. It sounded like he was so quiet that I could hear a drop of pin. And I turned around. He was gone. August 7th, 2013. About 8:45 in the morning, he was gone. When I say gone, you all know what God really means. So I turned around, and as soon as it came to me that he was gone, Tiffany was sitting at the door waiting for us to leave. I grabbed him. He slumped. I hit him and did everything. By then, they already got on their cell phone. The 911 couldn't hear them because every one of them was screaming. All I knew was, by the time 911 was getting to the door, I still had him in my hand saying, you can't do this. You should have given us the opportunity to get you in the hospital. If you die there, at least that will show that I tried. So as I'm holding him slumped, slapping him, doing everything that they all are screaming, as soon as 911 gets to the door, in my hand, he did it. And he woke up. And I'm telling this lasted about, you all can ask Tiffany how many minutes that lasted. Amen to that? Amen. All right. So that was the second testimony. And then we started the journey of the dialogue.